Let me ask you a question. What do you consider a god? Is it a mortal who transcends to be immortal? A deity who rules over all? A king who sees himself as all-powerful, the creator of everything? A mad scientist who's created life? Or someone who is unchallenged by everyone? My friends, this is Godzilla, a kaiju awoken by the atomic bombing, who has reigned over all those who dare challenge him, and has put other gods to shame for challenging him. For those who prepared to challenge Gojira, be prepared for a fight you might not come back from. Hello! I am e.x.e, and welcome to Rookie Power Scaling, where I try to power scale my favorite characters. Yeah, I'm talking about Godzilla. So what? How shocking. My first power scaling video is talking about Godzilla, as if it wasn't obvious in the first place. It's honestly been crazy how long he's reigned over media as a whole. Outside of Dragon Ball and potentially Vocaloid, I can't think of another franchise that has fundamentally changed Japanese culture. I know I just pissed some anime fans in the comments. So what? Sue me! So, with Godzilla's massive popularity, low standards from his movies now, over the 70 years he's been around in the filmmaking, he has had multiple different versions that have come, and with different strengths and abilities, along with those versions, came a composite version of Goji, which essentially combines all the Godzillas together. Anyways, I figured I should lay down how I will be compositing Godzilla. So, any mainline Godzillas that exist as of right now of recording, and will not include collabs that are not canon to say like a mainline Godzilla. Basically, we're going to include all the mainstream Godzillas and their comics, excluding collabs like Marvel, Fortnite, Fall Guys, etc. So the Godzillas we will be using are the following: Showa, Heisei, Zilla, Millennium, GMK, Kiru Godzilla, Final Wars, Monsterverse, Shin, Earth, In Hell, Gensto, the IDW Godzillas, -1, and finally Ultima, who's the most confusing out of the bunch, and gets the promotion of getting his own section of the video. Please help me. Now, that's a lot. And yeah, it's a lot. And I honestly underestimated going into this how much there was to research. Whoa, that's something you should learn when learning with composites. But without keeping you waiting any longer, let's get started, shall we? The year is 1954, 9 years after the end of World War II, and with it, tragedies befalled. But that wasn't the only thing. Japan had another problem. With the nuclear bomb testing, something awoke beneath the waters. A long discovery by the Japanese Coast Guard, a 50-meter tall monster, as the locals of Ohoto Island dubbed Gojira. Combining the Japanese terms for gorilla and whale, the locals of Ohoto Island would offer sacrifices to prevent Godzilla from attacking the mainland, until he didn't. Upon reaching the story, he was attempted to be stopped, only for him to bulldoze through. He terrorized Tokyo, destroying and towering buildings in the area, using his supernatural abilities such as the heat ray. But he was defeated when the brilliant Dr. Serizawa, with his creation, the oxygen destroyer. Fearing the potential that Serizawa's weapons can do, he took him and his researchers down with Gojira, thus saving the world from Gojira's horrors. But the people knew deep down they will always bring another Gojira if history keeps repeating themselves. And boy, were they right! Alright, strap in folks, this one's a doozy because this is where everything goes in haywire. Yeah, so Goji's story kind of changes with each iteration of him, whether it's Showa, Heisei, Millennium, all this thing. Hell, the original Godzilla is sometimes called Dagon, and he has like alternate versions of him. Like in the MonsterVerse, he doesn't die to the Oxygen Destroyer, he dies to the Muto Prime and Godzilla Aftershock. Oh, Dagon's not even in some versions, it's just Godzilla himself. Anyways, but yeah, I mentioned before, the only thing that Composite Godzilla isn't good with is story, because you know, continuity errors, plot holes, different enemies, and their strengths. I hope that they cleared some things up a bit. Story doesn't need what needs to help to make a continuity plot line, but for story, we need it for abilities and capabilities. If we're trying to tell a story, it's not gonna go well. But what are we, a story channel? Nah, we power scale shit. Let's go on to attack power. He's towered over buildings, destroyed entire cities. He scales past his fight with Kong in 1962. They shook the Japanese archipelago, assuming Goji contributed half this power. He drilled a hole into the earth. Hell, that same battle with Kong was capable of causing worldwide destruction and shook the Earth's axis. Him and Space Godzilla managed to blow up the world. He's been able to fight sometimes on par with Ghidorah, Power, who outscales nukes that destroy Peaceland. He's fought on par with Mechagodzilla, and Mechagodzilla survived being inside a black hole. Now, here's the weird thing. So, in his fight with Space Godzilla, he absorbed cosmic energy after destroying Space Godzilla's shoulder crystals. In the fire, the nuclear fission heat ray uses that power to destroy both Space Godzilla and Mogira, meaning the nuclear fissions beyond both of them. It's been stated that Mogira's lasers were 6 times stronger than Mechagodzilla's, and Mechagodzilla was fired to fire at Godzilla's atomic breath back at him, and the 10,000 times stronger than Godzilla's. And Godzilla's atomic breath is capable of destroying planets, meaning that the nuclear fission heat ray could potentially get to red giant level if we're gonna highball it that much. He's defeated both Ghidorah and Destroyer. He scales his own fighter who fought a 4th dimensional kaiju. He's taking on the Greek gods. He's taking on this demon thing at the end of Godzilla and Hell comic. So what is this demon lord thing? Is it Satan, the creator of the cosmology? Just a demon god? The answer to that is none of them. None of the above. None of them. Yeah, sorry Godzilla fans. This is not it. You got misheard. This is not an outerversal feat. It's just not. So it's pretty vague throughout the comic. Like issue 5 is pretty vague. Like there's no big, like that's not described what it is. So, and with that, it can't give us a lot on how much that feat is. And considering there's like 5 writers for each Godzilla and Hell issue, so it can't really be an outerversal feat without making a bunch of assumptions and miscorrections. And it's not. Godzilla and Hell is about humility and learning to let go of your pride. When Godzilla lets go of his pride, he finally beats that demon thing that was protecting the exit to Hell. So it's more likely a pseudo thing rather than an actual outerversal thing. So for now, we'll keep Godzilla at universal, but let's move on to speed. He can run up to 300 miles per hour. His breath can move at Mach 36 and even the speed of light. He's dodged Space Godzilla's crystals, which can travel between the distance from a star to the sun. He's tagged Gigan with his atomic breath, who flew the distance of the NMSH to Earth in a few minutes. Kept up with Zone Fighter, whose speed was capable of surpassing Ghidorah's. His atomic breath tagged Space Godzilla, who moved from a black hole to the asteroid belt in 3 days, putting his speed at 3.9 billion times faster than light, and his crystals move 11.53 times faster, so those crystals would be moving to 28.98 billion times faster than light. And Godzilla was capable of landing hits on Space Godzilla and his crystals, so his speed would be in that ballpark. He swam through an ocean that was stated to be eternal and endless, making his speed irrelevant. He kept up with Mecha King Ghidorah, who can time travel, so that would make his speed immeasurable. See, easy enough, simple and done. Immeasurable speed Yoji. Now, let us move on to durability. Tank gunfire like it's nothing. He could survive a nuke point blank. He survived a black hole. His G cells endured the inside of a black hole and crystallized it in that black hole. Hence how we got Space Godzilla. Take hits Ghidorah, and Ghidorah can destroy and split molecules. He's took a hit from the oxygen destroyer, which gets destroyed on the atomic level. Survived being decapitated. He's been in a volcano. He's took a hit from Mechagod's little lasers, which he fired his own atomic breath, making it 10,000 times stronger. He's capable of withstanding the full presence of Void Ghidorah and his full dimensional presence. Taking the universal beam God shot at him. He's been taking a beating from Destroyer, only for them to kick his ass. Since he's capable of taking his own atomic breath, his durability shows the scale to his attack power, theoretically, and even greater since he takes Mecha G firing his own atomic breath back at him. Like with attack and speed, we'll leave this not included for now. But let's go on to abilities and resistance. He can absorb radiation. He can absorb different types of energy such as electricity, multiple other ways, and even the space energy from Space Godzilla's crystals. Hell, he can even absorb DNA, as he absorbed Tiamat's DNA. And I'll just show you it. Like you know what I'm talking about at this point. He knows martial arts from Zone Fighter. He can regenerate his body. He even regenerated from the oxygen destroyer. He grows stronger mid-fights depending on the forms. He can resist Ghidorah's ability to destroy on the subatomic level. He can resist his own radiation being absorbed out of his body. He has the G-Virus, which allows anything that comes into contact with Godzilla grow large. He resists acid, mind manipulation. His atomic breath can negate regeneration. He can shoot his atomic breath out as either an attack or EMP. He can manipulate electricity, light, matter radiation, and sometimes earth, being able to cause earthquake. Even absorb souls. He even resisted attacks on his soul. as he prevented the Guardians from entering his body. He can adapt to what's happening to him, an example being when King Ghidorah's electricity and absorbing it to fire it back. He can resist intense heats, destruction at atomic levels. His presence alone was enough to fundamentally change Earth's way of life and flora around it in the span of 20,000 years. He possessed Hellbitch, which when they eat his flesh, and then he fired a big atomic breath. He can reflect attacks and evolve to counter-exploit the situation. Now, the way this evolution thing works is really weird, so let me explain. So, this ability to evolve isn't like Doomsday's or 682's ability to evolve, where they can evolve on the spot or after they die. It's more like, it's like they're reacting to the environment and they're trying to counter something in that environment. Like in the movie Shin Godzilla, an example would be him growing larger to tower over buildings, him growing tougher skin to take hits from military weaponry. It's even been stated that in his fifth form would have been allowed them to fly if not being frozen. So that while he won't immediately evolve on the spot, his fight that goes on, but not immediately. Okay, his rage allows him to grow in power as it goes on and resist absolute zero. And here's absolute zero beam. Now, with that being said, if you had a keen eye, you would have noticed something. Earlier, I said in the beginning I was going to include Ultima, but the feats I've been showing you haven't been from Ultima. And, well, you're right. Until now, this is where we start to talk about them. So, strap in everyone. It's about to get a doozy. Now, here's where I say that this part, Ultima, is the more important part of the video, and the part I really want you to pay attention to. These next two sections of the video are like the big power scaling factors, aka this is the part in the video where I start to lose my fucking mind. Now, throughout this video, I've been giving you Godzilla feats and have been ramping up into bigger, more impressive feats. Well, in these next two sections, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna tell you Ultima's most impressive feats and then his abilities, and then we'll move on to like more true form, okay? Alright, good. Now let's get started. Oh, I figured we should start what Ultima is and what his origins are. So, Singular Point has Godzilla's bones in it. And in Singular Point, he's defeated by Jet Jaguar when he's sent back in time, and then he's killed back in the 50s when, you know, the origins of Godzilla happened. Now, there are two Ultimas. One is the avatar we see in the show, and the other is it. It's Ultima's essentially true form. Okay? Now, Ultima has the power to control when it's able to come back to life with the red dust. The red dust is super important to talk about. Along with that comes archetype, which in itself is a bitch to explain. So, archetype is essentially a chemical that is not real and exists in a simulated world until Professor Lee created it. With it, its ability to capture light with its grasp by grabbing protons from the future. And there's the fact that it exists in multiple different dimensions all at once. So there's also that there, and yeah. Archetype is described as a material with a transtemporal structure, and with that, Kaiju with Archetype are allowed to see the future, but they can't really change the future. And Red Dust is made from Archetype, and Godzilla's entire skeleton is made are which that Godzilla is able to create a physical reality which allows him to do a multiple such as reality warp. He can manipulate how many people will die to a kaiju, manipulate space-time and dimensions. He can break the laws of physics, create life, and rewrite biology. That typical reality warper abilities. Comparable to Shiva, who has the same singularity as Godzilla, which means he's capable of hyperspace manipulation and temporal manipulation. He adapts and evolves throughout the series, changing his appearance to be more amphibious. His atomic breath can destroy the informational level. His atomic breath gets stronger the more he uses it. He's capable of singling singular points. Singular points are considered doorways for kaiju coming into the world, and if they grow larger, more kaiju grow out of it. And Godzilla himself is considered a singular point as he is a doorway for it, essentially. And that triggered an apocalyptic event. And then there's the equation. Oh boy, the equation. The equation is really important to talk about. Now, the equation is what essentially gives singular points sentience. It's what all singular points have one. The song Alupa Upala has a hidden code that allows them to grow in size. And Godzilla has this equation / code because he himself is a singular point who is rapidly growing and evolving throughout. Singular points grow in size, they can collapse the universe. And Godzilla, given enough time, could destroy the universe and potentially the multiverse if large enough. He was only stopped by Jet Jaguar for absorbing the code itself and essentially becoming a copy and vanishing to the past, hence how we got the skeleton. That's just the Avatar. And then there's it, which is like a bigger concept in hyperspace, which in itself is a big part of space. And the Avatar is 1% as strong as the true form. And we already got to like multiverse level feats in Shiva. It itself is bigger than the multiverse. And Godzilla can dream things, and those things can affect the multiverse. Now, another thing to note here is Ultima's technically a canon composite Godzilla, depending on how you interpret this statement. So, in the novel, it's been described to Godzilla has been constantly fighting the same kaiju over the years. Like, the same foes, same timeline, same everything. So, hypothetically, every Godzilla we have seen throughout time, throughout history, has been the same Godzilla with the same origin. Now, this is up for debate because you cannot interpret it this way. It's pretty vague in the text, but food for thought. So, we already have outer-versal feats considering that Godzilla himself has transcended reality. So, Godzilla is outer. That's the strongest he's ever been. Now, earlier I mentioned speed, and the speed of Godzilla is immeasurable as he outgrew the singularities as just being inside one of the singular point that makes it faulty in ability throughout the timeline. And it's been mentioned in the novel that there are the universe and there are infinite dimensions. Essentially, that there's when Pelops 2 went to go find the solution for the equation, he swam through an infinite amount of dimensions throughout time, and it's been described in the text that there are infinite amount of dimensions, which lines up with what is stated in Godzilla of Hell. There we go. I'll put his strength, speed, and durability up on the screen so you guys can see it. But wow, what a ride that was. Crazy first video, huh? Never thought I would do something crazy for this video, but here we are. Now, if you agreed think this whole video was a mess, and I think I should have only done one Godzilla, I agree. This video was a mess to make, record, edit, not to mention the concept of a composite itself. It's not really a good thing to do, considering the fact it created a lot of continuity errors and plot holes. Hell, it even messes with the character's personality. Godzilla being a good example. Every Godzilla acts and looks differently, like Showa, who is a hero character who saves the day, while GMK is a malevolent force of vengeance of Japanese soldier. It's why Godzilla has been around so long. Having so many different personalities and characteristics is what makes him unique. Having so many different versions of Godzilla means that you can pick a favorite on who you like best. Like, you can like GMK the best, Showa the best, Monsterverse the best, Heisei the best, Shin the best. There's a lot to choose from. I definitely want to do a rerun Godzilla video focusing on one Godzilla. Doesn't matter which one. Monsterverse, Final Wars, Heisei, Showa, hell, maybe even a new manga that's coming up. But that doesn't matter for now. This is the starting point for my channel. The next video is gonna be way more toned down in terms of scaling and less confusing depending on how you think about it. And here's a teaser for next time. Stay safe out there and always keep being you.
I loaned it to Nash. He must have had it when he...